All right, girls, are you ready for the cold weather? Nah, don't fight about it. You can't do anything about it. Stop fighting about cold weather. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you are having a fantastic day. Sad to say it's early November 2018 and winter weather for Louisville is right around here. Some of you across the nation, with so many people that I do follow and watch on social media, that there's already snow in the mountains. There's already snow up in like Minnesota, the north. I mean, that's, you know, Canada. I have a lot of people from Canada follow me, and the snow is up there already. Sorry to hear that. So for you guys, I might be a little late doing this, but it's a good way to watch to make sure that you did it correctly and that you can still have time to go backwards and do some of the preventative tips to help protect your car. So with most of us, we have to store our car in some type of manner for the winter. So I have a 2016 Corvette, and every winter it sets for about 3 months. Usually like December, January, February is how long it sets here for me in Louisville. So there's some preventative tips that I do to prevent and preserve the car, prevent any negative things happening to it, preserve the car for longevity and a lifelong of happiness driving. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. If this is the first time that you're viewing my channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, and thumbs up the video. Before I begin the video, I do have a huge announcement that I will be giving a brand new Apple Watch away this month. It's a brand new Apple Series 4 watch GPS model, valued up to $429, depending on what size you want. The winner gets to pick the size, the color, and all that stuff, up to $429. The $399 version is the 40 millimeter, and the $429 version is the 44 millimeter. So all you have to do, like I said, is click the link in the description for the Apple Watch giveaway, and you can be the lucky winner. Before I begin the video, also make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn the bell notifications on, and also if you want to become a member of the Chevy Dude page, there is the join button there also, and if you don't see that join button, that is in the description below. It's all based off of everybody's devices that they're watching on. Let's get on with the vlog and show you how to winterize your very nice car that you want to preserve down the road. The first step that you want to do is find a secure place, a dry place, and if you can get to have it be dark, that is the best. Now, ultraviolet rays and sun rays, I mean, they really do damage to plastics, tires, fade the paint and stuff like that. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about here in a second with my car cover that I use on this car. But I always put it in my garage here on the right hand side, and it's secure, it's dry and whatnot. So, but if you don't park it on cement, what you wanna do is put down some plastic underneath the car. As you know, if you've been following my page for a while, that I put in wood floors in my house, and I did a lot of research on that. And when they talked about moisture barrier, I learned so much more about moisture barrier and with those wood floors, because I wanted to protect my investment on those wood floors, that when I do this as well, that makes a whole lot of sense when I was doing some research on making sure that I can do a video correctly for you guys and put it out there. So if you're putting on something other than concrete, make sure you put down some plastic underneath the car, underneath the tires, all that good stuff, and so that way you don't have any moisture coming up from the ground. Number 2 step would be make sure before you put your car away that it is very nicely cleaned, very nicely washed. That way, if you're taking the car cover off and on, you don't get any unwanted scratches, any scuffs, any marks. And again, the whole idea is to put the car away for the winter time, and when it comes time at the beginning of the year, next year, that you can just hop in it and go and not have any issues or worrying about the car starting, the car doing maintenance on it, stuff like that. So make sure you'll wash it really good and clean the interior as well. The next step is right here. Make sure you fill the tank with gas. The best gas to use is premium fuel. Premium fuel will last longer in the tank, and then with a full tank of gas, there's less moisture to be built up in the tank as well. And then also, you'll want to use a fuel stabilizer. So Stable makes a really good fuel stabilizer. There's a link in the description below of everything that I'm talking about, of things that you can get on Amazon, and to prevent your car from having any negative effects over the wintertime. But also, when you put that fuel stabilizer in there, what you want to do is run your car for about 10 minutes or so. So that way all the fuel lines and all that good stuff get that stabilizer in there, the engine gets it in there, everything gets it in there. So that way you just don't have fuel stabilizer in the tank, but you got it running through the lines as well. So get that car sloshed up a little bit, that fuel mixed up and all that good stuff, and you'll be doing good when it comes to springtime and you're wanting to start this and you won't have bad gas. I almost forgot to say too, now I'm a huge person on fuel. This car, my Camaro out there, obviously the Tesla doesn't use gas, but you know, these two cars have never seen anything but top tier fuels. Now around here we have Shell gas station, so my cars around here have Shell gas station. I don't go on too many trips where I drive the cars, but we went up to my friend's the Guitarmageddon Z01's place, and they don't have Shell stations up there, so I got on the website toptierfuel.com. You can Google it as well, toptierfuel.com. On there, they tell you every single top tier fuel company in North America. When I say North America, I'm talking about USA, Canada, Puerto Rico, all that good stuff. Honduras, Guatemala, all those places. It talks about the best fuel companies out there. So stay away from those Walmarts, those Krogers, those gas stations. Stay away from those. They don't have good gas. Make sure you put top tier fuel gas in your car, especially for the winter, but also anytime that you're driving it. The next tip has to do with under the hood. You want to make sure you change the oil right before hibernation. Oil on Z51 is over there in the dry sump system, but having a fresh oil change is going to keep the engine nicely lubricated and not have any type of contaminants in the engine oil, and it's going to be ready for you in the spring when you come out of hibernation. Again, another great tip to preserve the life of the engine, preserve the life of everything on it, and to make your life much easier when you want to get your car out of hibernation and go enjoy it in the spring. You also want to check the coolant for the next tip. So the coolant, typically Corvette's a little bit difficult, but there are markings on almost every coolant reservoir to see where that coolant should be. So make sure you got it topped off with coolant, make sure it's filled. I typically like to fill it when it's cold, so that way you can see where the cold line is, but there is a hot line fill on there too, but make sure that's topped off and good, and don't mix your colors. So if you've got green coolant in there, put green coolant in there. We use pink coolant, so put pink coolant in there on your GM cars as well. Next tip is for your tires. So now with the tires here, every car manufacturer has this little sticker on the inside of your door. It tells you exactly the original size of tires that go on the vehicle, and then also tells you what PSI to put in those tires. So now you always want to run exactly what it says on here for your tires, but over the winter time, it would be a good idea to put a couple 2-3 pounds extra in there. So put this case 30 is the recommended PSI. I would put 33, 34 in there, so that way if there's any loss of tire pressure, that we don't have any issues with the tires over the winter. You want to make sure you park your car on one of these. These are flat stop preventers. So basically you park your vehicle on these, and what do you think? You like it? Park your vehicle on one of that keeps the vehicle's tires in round and also keeps it off the ground as well. So these are on Amazon. Again, the link is in that description that I put in below. So click that and you can get those. They're not cheap. They're gonna be about 250 bucks, but they're well worth it. Again, $2,000 set of tires, 250 bucks. That's cheap maintenance to not have to prevent getting flat spots in your tires, or it's going to help prevent dry rot and all that good stuff as well. So that's something I put my car on. Anytime that I am going to have my car set for probably more than 3 weeks, I put that on there. Because really these soft tires, I mean, they set overnight and they get flat spots, and you go out and you start driving, you got to warm them up and it gets rid of it. But anytime 2 to 3 weeks that this car sets, it gets parked on those. The next tip has to do with protecting your battery. Now the C7 Corvettes have this little plug right back here, so that way you can buy the factory Corvette GM plug and plug it right in there and protect the battery. Puts the battery on the battery tender, keeps it warm, keeps it nice and charged all winter long, plugs into a 110 outlet, and that will protect your vehicle. Now if you have something that does not have this, because this is the only thing that's going to happen is going to go go through 2014 Corvette up to current model 2019. You're gonna have to get a little alligator clips to put on the battery, or Harley has some attachments that you can get to put on the battery terminal post. So use this battery tender. It comes from Chevrolet. It does really good. This one I actually bought from the National Corvette Museum to support them. I actually have two of these, one from Chevrolet and one from the Corvette Museum. This is the one I've been using lately, but really good program. It has all the lights here. If you want to see a video on how I use it, that link is in the top right hand corner that you can go view that video. If you are storing your car off site, a couple tips is make sure you contact your insurance company. So if you're storing like at a storage facility or a buddy's house or a garage or something to that effect, a barn, you know, anything like that. Here in Louisville, we have a cave that you can store things in. It's kind of crazy how that happens, but make sure you contact the insurance company, because they can sometimes be particular and really stickler on where the car is garaged if the unfortunate happens, to make sure that you are protected. Also, in the event that that offsite storage facility does not have power, pull your battery and take that home with you, and you want to keep that somewhere where it's consistent temperature. You don't want to put it on the garage floor, because it's just going to freeze in there if you're in freezing temperature area, and then also it just does bad for the battery. You don't have to really so much keep it on a battery tender the whole time. I know a lot of people do that. You certainly can do that, but keep it inside the house where it's warm and consistent temperature, and that's going to help that battery out as well. The next tip, if you want to protect the interior of the car, I mentioned it earlier, to make sure you just kind of clean everything up, make sure it's all nice and, you know, free of dust and debris and stuff like that, but also throw a box of baking soda in your car. Baking soda is a great source to keep all sorts of negative, nasty stuff out of your car, from the air and all that stuff. And then also, if you have a trunk, which Corvette doesn't, but if you have a trunk like in a Camaro or something like that, throw a box in the trunk as well. Something that is a big concern, I see it all the time happening and talked about in the Facebook groups that I'm in and stuff like that, is varmint and rodents getting into our cars. Man, it's brutal. It's so bad. So these next couple tips is going to be about how to keep these varmints out of your car, and so that way, again, you come back in springtime, you go to start your car, you go off in the sunset and enjoy your day. On this particular Corvette, it's really hard to do, but it is a good idea to maybe throw a bag, wrap it in, you know, just a bread sack or something to that effect around the air cleaner and stuff like that. Again, that keeps mice out of it, because that's where they like to go. They do definitely like to build nests in the components here. So one thing you could do is undo your bolts, put some plastic in there. I like to use tin foil. You could use tin foil, tighten it back up, and you'll be good to go. The next thing with these varmints is the tailpipes. Now, a lot of people like to put dryer sheets in their tailpipes. That's completely fine. Throw a dryer sheet in there. Also, mothballs. Mothballs are a great thing. I personally do both. I do mothballs and a dryer sheet. Also, you can use steel wool. Throw some steel wool up in there, block those tailpipes, and you'll be good to go. But also, I mentioned it earlier, tin foil. I love using tin foil. Put some tin foil over this. I'm not doing it real quick. I'm doing it real quick and ripping it, but put some tin foil over there. I like to take a rubber band and put a rubber band on that, and that protects from those little varmints getting into our exhaust system. So do that, and that'll protect your exhaust system from any type of varmints and rodents. When storing your car over the winter, the best thing to do is obviously put a car cover on it. Now, you want to make sure that you do not use a weatherproof car cover indoors. The reason we don't want to use a weatherproof car cover is because it keeps the weather out. Well, it also keeps the weather in. So if you have any type of moisture or anything like that in your garage or where you're storing it, moisture is going to get up inside that car cover, and it's going to sit here and allow negative things that moisture does happen to your car. So this one that I'm putting on here is the Chevrolet C7 Corvette cover that I use on my car. So I was kind of telling you earlier that I'm in a pretty well dark area for the car, as you can see kind of how the sun kind of hits my car right here. That there's sun back here and there's shade up there. So I'm pretty good with the interior, and the windows are tinted pretty dark as well. So we're good. Just to kind of show you what's going on. Now, hopefully the camera picks this up well. So you can see it's nice and red. And then back here, I think it's picking up well of how faded that area is. If you look right here, again, I hope that's picking up on the camera real well, but it's really nice and faded back here from the sun, which that is the east right there. And it just hits the back of this car and fades this out. So I use this car cover on it. I do have a second car cover, which is up there. That's actually fits a C6, and that fits this car just fine. So sometimes, because one of the negative things that I found about this car cover is actually it doesn't like keep a lot of dust out. When I take it off, there's still a lot of dust on it. So I use that second car cover there as a way of getting double penetration, double protection from the dust penetrating, is what I was trying to say. What are you guys doing? So this is the car cover I use. Again, you can get these at your Chevy store or on Amazon. In the last tip of this video, there are varying theories behind starting the car for a few minutes over the winter time. I personally don't do it. I never start my car. Once it's stored, it's done. But if you want to do that, I would say at least 10 minutes. I would say go 20 minutes, because every time you start up that car, there's a little bit of moisture, there's a little bit of condensation that goes in the exhaust and all that good stuff inside the engine. And so by not getting that car up to operating temperature, it's not going to allow that water to evaporate and heat up and get out of the system. So make sure if you do that, that you run it long enough to get everything hot and up to operating temperature to burn off any condensation or water in the system. So there you go. There's all my tips to get your car ready for the winter storage season. Now, if you've done anything like crazy, like I mentioned earlier about the tinfoil in the air cleaner, stuff like that, leave notes, detailed notes, like on the dashboard, so if somebody else helps you or you just completely forget, anything like that. The car's in storage for a couple years, so to speak, which this stuff is not good for a couple years. This stuff that I'm telling you is good for winter months. Leave those notes on your dash, because that's going to help you remember what you've done, and also it's going to be a checklist to backtrack what you've done, so make sure you've done anything out of the ordinary to get off the car, like tinfoil, mothballs, stuff like that. So again, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you find these tips useful. If you have any additional tips, throw them in the comments below. Be more than happy to read them. If you've got a really good comment, I'll pin it. And then also, if there's anything I can do for you on purchasing a car, ChevyDude.com. Don't forget about the Apple Watch giveaway. That link is in the description. And then also make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notifications, thumbs up the video, and become a member of the Chevy Dude. What am I trying to say? The Chevy Dude YouTube page. So hey, everyone, thanks again for watching. Have a great day and drive safely.